Hey folks, back with another update video of the Savage Orcs. Again, I've not shown much of the progress on these, but I just really got into making them, I really got into finishing them up and just kind of powered through, and I've finished them, which is awesome. So I can't remember what I'd shown last time, so I'll just go through all of them. I don't think you've seen any of them painted up either, so I'll go through them and you can hopefully get an idea what's going on. This guy I just gave two like axes. And the weapons and stuff in this set were really cool, so it was great to play around with them and you know, look at all the different options. I know usually I think in sets like this you're meant to give them all a similar type of weapon, but because I'm kind of learning, I wanted to just go through and give as much variation as possible. I think it makes for a more interesting looking collection of guys. So that was the kind of thinking behind that. But this guy I just gave the two axes, and then also sculpted a little beard and a mohawk on this guy. I'd kind of gone with like a war paint sort of look for these guys as well, so there's something a little bit different about them all, which is cool. But on the back here I've just taken one of the shields that would obviously go on the armor originally, and just given them two little straps that are around his shoulders there. So it was a little bit kind of picking away at the moulding on the back of the shield and just making it fit into his back there. This guy again, I think he had the hair originally, but I'd added in a beard here, but just gave him a sword and a shield. I actually think this sword, was it this sword? No, it wasn't this sword, never mind. There's a couple of swords that I've pieced together out of other weapons, so I'll talk about them when I come to them. So yeah, he's just standing, kind of having a roar. And then this piece here, the like bones, that was originally meant to be like a jaw plate sort of thing. But I thought it would make a pretty cool kind of holster for another weapon, so I'd added in some straps and then added in this little kind of pickaxe sort of thing he's got there on his back. This guy, yeah, I think it was this one, I'd made kind of custom made both of these things that he's holding on to. This I think was the tip of one of the spears, the sword blade here, and then I just pieced together with a little kind of bottom of a bone off something, I can't remember what it was, and so pieced those three bits together, the bone, the handle and the blade, just to make a huge kind of knife or sword there. This little stick sort of thing was again pieced together with other bits and pieces. I think these like horn sort of bits coming at the side were parts of the bow. That's one of the cool things about the set as well, is you end up with a whole bunch of different leftover weapons and stuff, so I've got a bunch of different bits to play around with now. But I just cut off the ends of one of the bows that you get with the set and kind of put it in the eye sockets of this little skull. Added a horn onto the back there just to make this interesting little staff, I guess. So that was him. Next up was one of the only archer sort of guy I've done in this set. As I say, that's the bows there where I got those little hooks off. Understandably, none of the bows come with like a string on them. It's obviously just for casting purposes, because that string would be way too thin to cast in most cases. So I don't like that look of them having no string, so I went in with really fine wire and just wrapped that around the bow and gave it a string there, so it kind of, you know, makes more sense to me. It kind of makes it look more finished. So I went ahead and did that. A bit fiddly, but I think it was worth it. He's got some arrows up in his hand here. I took one of the little knives and sculpted it into his side. Added a little strap so it looks like he's got just a little backup weapon there. Just a quiver of arrows on the back of him. Again, little bits and pieces of war paint on there just to add a little more detail to them. That's that one. This guy was quite a bit of conversion. I think this sword thing on the side was one that I made kind of custom. I think again that was the tip of a spear. But the majority of these guys either came with spears or axes, so I wanted to make some of them have like swords. So I gave him that, and then on the back here I'd made this like weapons kind of basket thing, I guess. That was just a little kind of tube of plastic that I'd sculpted green stuff over and added in all these stitches just to make, and the texture in there to make it look like you know, like a leather sort of carry pouch or whatever. and I took two of the ends of the bows again and sculpted them into his back there on like a little harness. And then took a piece of, I think it was just a stick of one of the spears, and attached it on the back there. So this thing looks like it's kind of hooked onto these little hooks coming out of the harness on the back. And then just added some spears in the back here. So he's like carrying the spears for the rest of the guys to go and grab. Next one, the standard bearer, I guess. The standard I just painted up, and I painted these all in kind of muted colours. The box did suggest to do them in, you know, quite vibrant face paint and stuff. But like, I think it was a bright blue or something, but I didn't think it looked too great. I wanted to do a bit more of like a, you know, a savage sort of wilderness style to them. So I just did some muted purples and lighter greens and stuff. Carried through in the war paint, and the standard here goes from like a dull muted purple through to the brighter green there. But this guy, just gave him a little kind of knife in his other hand, and on the back I'd taken one of the spears and just used a little piece of tube and sculpted over with green stuff again, just some leather strapping over there to make a little kind of holster, I guess, for his spear that he's got on the back here. So yeah, again, just to add another dimension to these guys, rather than just having the figure with this big standard. That adds like another level of detail, I guess, to it. This guy was fairly standard. I don't think I did any modification to him. Oh, this bit on the back here was originally I think it was like a side flap sort of thing for I'm sure that had like chaos emblems on it and stuff. I'm sure it was for like some kind of chaos demon or something like that, but I found it in my bits box and just stuck it on the back there again to add a little bit more detail. I just noticed that I've not dry brushed that up actually, so I'll go in and do that before I can really call these guys finished. But that's him. This dude, I'd modified his shield slightly, so I'd taken one of they have like little hand spikes, I guess, or little hand weapons. So I just took one of the arms with that on it, and then just kind of added a shield on the side, so it looks like he's got a shield with this this spike kind of thing jutting out of it. So he's got a spear going on the other side, and just added a little pick thing onto his side, and again added some leather strapping for it to make sense for being on there. That was that one. This dude, I added a full beard for him. Again, this was all just green stuff, just kind of added on there and sculpted a bit. So he's got a beard going on. I think it adds more detail to them and a bit more kind of character and interest. He's got a shield on one side, and then the sword on this side I'd made out of a bunch of little different bits and pieces. I think the kind of crook bits that you see there were again from the ends of one of the bows. Just cut those off and shaped them down to make it look, make it make sense. I added this bone onto the bottom, and then again another one of the blades from the spears up on top. So that was that dude there. And then finally this guy, didn't do too much conversion work on him. I don't think I did any, but this is he's got a shield on the back there, one of these claw sort of things, and then an axe over there too. So it's a fairly standard guy. But yeah, this box set overall came with like so many different parts. I think it was to give you the combination of either having all axemen, all spears, or all bows. So you get a ton of extra little bits and pieces in this. I've still got a load of little hand weapons and stuff like that left over, so it was very cool from that point of view. You get a load of bits with it, and it allows you to play around with things a lot. Make a really kind of custom army, I guess, to them, which is cool. But yeah, pleased with these guys, how they came out, and they were a lot of fun to do. But yeah, that's those guys. I'll get back here with another update video soon, hopefully. Until then, cheers for watching, and I will catch you all later. Goodbye.